Hey, what's going on? Aaron Murray here with the Players Lounge, and we got a special guest, my boy, who tried to pick me off way too many times in practice, was not very successful, maybe a couple times here and there. Bacarri Rambo. He's here with OMG Hydration, 2-minute hydration. We're going to get into that a little bit here in a couple minutes, but it works. I've used it, especially how hot it is right now in Atlanta, Georgia. Bacarri's down in South Florida. You're sweating your ass off, especially you students getting ready for get on campus, all that moving. Get you some OMG hydration to make sure you get those electrolytes ready to go and recover as well. Bacarri?
What's up, man?
Man, nice to see you without the helmet on, talking crap from across the
I know, man.
across from me.
I know. I enjoy playing with you out there, man. It was a good time, having a lot of fun out there with you.
Yeah,
especially when me and Jarvis and Sean and Ogletree was doing you dirty out there.
I don't know about all that now.
I think that's how you became better. I think just practice to get success every day.
Yeah, people always ask me because like what were you missing? Why didn't Georgia win a natty? I was like, we had great players,
right?
Tremendous players. Like I remember that 2012 team. I mean, you named off some of the players there. Ogletree at middle linebacker, Jenkins at nose tackle, Jarvis on the outside. Jarvis, shout out to Jarvis, about to get inducted to the Hall of Fame at Georgia. Was Boykin on that team? Was Boykin there too?
Boykins left 2011.
Okay.
That's when we had Sean and Sanders and Brandon Smith, Swan. Yeah, it was all of us. Boykins left in 2011.
You know what's crazy? Sean, who was part of my class, Sean Williams, 3-star guy, kind of, I think had a really good career at Georgia. Was in the NFL for how many years? 8, 9 years?
Ooh, I think 8.
It might have had the longest career of that entire defense with all those guys on that defense.
John Jenkins still playing.
He's still playing.
Yeah, he's still playing.
The Saints?
He just signed to the Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah, he just signed to the Raiders.
If you're over 300 pounds and can move, you're going to find a way to have a long NFL career.
Yeah, you are. Except when you're done playing, what you going to do at them 300 pounds?
You're going to lose it. I've seen enough of these. Dude, all my offensive linemen that were there with us, man, they are all like 250, 270. It's crazy how much they've been able to shed weight.
Yeah, they need to get some of this. They need to hydrate, jump on this product. That'll help them out a lot more.
Well, because a lot of them they're running marathons nowadays. Like my boy Colton and Watts, which I'm still like, even at 270, running a full marathon to me just sounds awful.
I couldn't even do it at 200 pounds. I ain't running. I play golf. That's all I want to do. Play golf.
So we're gonna get into Bacarri, kind of his beginning of why Georgia, differences. Then obviously we will tailor to Georgia now and do a little preview of. The Dogs are about a week away from practice, and actually when this is launching it, they may actually have started practice here in Athens, Georgia. But you're a Georgia guy. What was it like committing to Georgia back in the day? Like why the Dogs, and where were some of the other options?
I had a lot of options. Alabama, Clemson, Florida State. It's just Georgia stuck out, and I think it's just the relationship that I had. Grew with Coach Bobo because he's from South Georgia because he was the one that recruited me. So I just think that Coach Bobo made me feel like home, and him and my dad kind of hit it off very well, and he just he took on my family like it was like his own family. He treated us like very well. Coach Rick, of course, but it was more of Coach Bobo, I would say.
That makes me happy because Bobo gets so much crap.
Yeah, I love Bobo.
So for the outsider, I always tell people it feels to me like Bobo played here, assistant, quarterback coach, then became OC, and we had some great offenses. But people I felt like they felt so close to him because he'd been so close to the program for so long that they felt that comfort level of giving him some crap. Yeah. Where as a person, as a coach, and obviously what we were able to do as an offense, we're all at a high level. So I'll throw it to you, a guy on defense. So not even you're not a quarterback, a guy on defense. Defend Coach Bobo and why it is a good decision he's back.
I mean, I feel like Coach Bobo was one of the best things, like best offensive mind that ever come through Georgia. Because even when we was playing, when I was gone and you got hurt and Todd got hurt, he still managed a way to put up 30-some points a game. Like, I don't think no other offensive coordinator could have done that. And like now, with the talent that they have, we had talent back then, but right now, I feel like they have way more talent than us back in the day, and I feel like he's gonna have a lot of fun with these guys. Like he go put up some points.
Were you with AJ? Was that AJ your class?
Yeah, I came in the same year as AJ. Matter of fact, AJ was me and him was roommates when we was in college. Yeah.
Give me a quick AJ story, because AJ's kind of quiet a little bit for people who don't know. He's a little reserved.
Man, it wasn't really too many stories. I could just say he can make some good fried chicken. He used to fry chicken for us, but he make it extra crispy like Kane. So it wasn't really many stories, like funny stories that we had, besides like what was it, mat drills. We all called our parents during mat drills. We was about to leave that morning. Yeah, that was probably one of the worst experiences I ever had, going through mat drills my first day, and they was picking on the freshmen, and me, AJ, went to our room, and we was like, who gonna be the first one to leave? I was like, well, I ought to call my daddy. He on his way. So yeah, that was probably one of the funniest stories we had.
Could you do mat drills today?
Heck no. I tried to play ultimate frisbee with some friends in Fort Lauderdale. That's what pushed me to golf. I don't have to worry about hurting myself.
I know. Go from tennis to pickleball.
Yeah.
If you had to guard AJ one-on-one, did you ever? I'm sure like one-on-ones maybe.
Nah, I ain't
Never?
really.
You didn't want it, or he didn't want
Borkins used to fight me over, so I just let him go with him.
What made AJ so good?
His ball skills, just being a former basketball player, just his ball skills, he can get it at the highest point. He got very good speed. I don't think he get enough credit for his speed. I think he was a burner, and just the way he can track the ball, he can go up and get it at the highest points. He have very strong hands, and he just have an eye for the ball. Like some guys can't track the ball as well as him, and he does a very good job.
Well, Colorado, the one-handed catch demonstrates everything you need to know about ball skills and tracking. I would say this about AJ, which was surprising, because you see AJ Green and he's lanky.
Yeah.
He's defined, but he's not bulky. Like he's not Julio. Julio's a little thicker.
Yeah.
But AJ had like that country strength to him a little bit. And he had length, like a boxer almost, where you couldn't get close to him to tackle him because he'd be able to give you a nasty little stiff arm.
Right. I remember when he first came in, he couldn't even he was struggling to do like 200, like 185 bench press. He was struggling to do that.
Yeah.
And it was just so impressive to see him and just be with him and watch him grow and get stronger. Because by the time our freshman camp was over with, our freshman year, he was doing like 235.
Yep.
And he just kept getting stronger and stronger.
So you came in, Willie Martinez was the DC. Mm-hmm. You left, Todd Grantham was the DC. Mm-hmm. What was that transition schematically for you guys when it came to learning a new defense?
It was pretty tough. Grantham, of course, ran the 3-4 back then with Coach Martinez. He ran a 4-3. Coach Grantham was way more aggressive in his play calling. His system was kind of like set up for the safeties and the nickel backs and the outside linebackers, because that's why Borkins made all the plays. I had all those interceptions. Jarvis had all those sacks. It kind of was built around those positions. Coach Martinez I couldn't really say his defense was built around a certain position. Yeah. Like, it was nobody that stood out, but on the 3-4 with Coach Grantham, it's like certain players, the way his play calling was, it allowed for other players, like the safeties and the nickel corner and the outside linebacker, to make those plays.
Well, you just do so much more. Yeah, with different bodies. And I feel like if you have athletes, you can do so much more with them too.
You can.
Where like 4-3 is kind of like, it's basic, but
I just think
do your job.
I think it's like an old school defense running a 4-3. It's more like stopping the run. I'm not saying that 3-4 can't stop it, because if you got some guys down there,
you need a big nose tackle if you're gonna be able to do it.
Thank God we had two of them. Yeah. John and Corman, we had two big guys. I feel sorry for your centers back then, man.
Yeah. Well, so I was in SEC Media Days a couple weeks ago, and Arkansas is moving from a 3-4 to a 4-3 because they want to stop the run. Yeah. And they may not have that consistent, 320-pound guy that they can put up like Georgia was able to get for so long. So, I mean, I think to me that's the key. 3-4 is great because you can bring guys from different angles. You can put an outside linebacker as your defensive end, move him around different spots. But if you don't have big guys up front to stop the run, that's going to be an issue. And that's why I want to ask you too, as a defensive back, obviously the last thing you want to see is a running back break through the first two levels and you have to tackle him in space.
Man, that's headache.
The game still hasn't changed much. To me, the importance of the game is still in the interiors, even with the spread offense. What are your thoughts on just that overall, that mindset of even with this game spreading out from sideline to sideline, the bulk of where the game is still played, you have to execute inside.
I think that's where Georgia is so successful at right now, because shout out to Coach Smart. He does a magnificent job as like recruiting the offensive line and the defensive line, because I still feel like it's won in the trenches too, because if you can run the ball, you can throw the ball.
Yep.
And if you can't run the ball, that makes the defense like, okay, they can't run it, they only can throw it. So pass rushers don't have to worry about stopping the run or they run gaps. They can just go get the quarterbacks. The safeties can play a little bit deeper. The corners don't have to worry about like crack replacing, and they can just play their receivers, keep their eyes on their receivers. So yeah, I just think the game of football is really won in the trenches.
Yep. Oh, 100%.
Still to this day.
Well, you look at Kirby. I mean, I posted about something the other day. I think 10, if not 11 of the guys they've had for next year's class, which is the #1 class in America, are all offensive linemen, defensive linemen. And all the offensive linemen are, I think, minimum 6'6".
Yeah.
I mean, they're like 6'6" to 6'8", just giant dudes that know how to move other big old people on the other side of the football. So if you want to see how the best of the best do it, they're still focusing on offensive line, defensive line play.
Right.
I want to stay on Grantham a little bit, because Grantham, like Bobo gets some crap, Grantham gets some crap. Like the 3rd in Grantham, the 4th in Grantham. Defend your guy. I mean, use your DC. Defend your guy on that side.
I mean, he did his thing with us. I think with Coach Grantham, when he was here with us, it wasn't as like with me and Jarvis and Ogletree. I don't think it was that tough, because and Sean and Sanders, all those guys, you had a bunch of older guys that you was dealing with that had the reps and the experience where he could come to the sideline during the game and make an adjustment, and we'll be able to pick up on it. Once we left, I feel like that's when it went down, because those guys didn't have those reps.
Yep.
So when he started speaking those terms to them and try to make adjustments, they wasn't able to understand. So that's why the defensive play went down. So I think
was it too complicated then?
I think so.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
Kirby's smart. I mean, Kirby and Grantham basically run the same type of defense, and they have the same calls. But it's like a lot of things kind of like are similar, but it's just certain things that you have to pay attention to.
Was it too much in the defense, or was it the way that it was taught? Because I mean, like I said, we had dudes, and not, I'm not gonna hate on anyone here, but like the defense was elite, but I felt like there was still, with all that talent, there was still something that was just barely missing to get it from a 20-point per game defense to like a 15-point per game defense.
I think at times we got comfortable.
Yeah,
I can say that. And just like just being around Kirby when I was graduate assistant, and that's one thing he don't allow his players to do is get comfortable. And I think at times we took our foot off the gas.
Yeah.
But not compared to now, it's like they more of like cutthroat, like they want to like embarrass you, and they don't get comfortable at all. And Kirby does a great job by not just like always keeping some fire lit up on them, like. He don't allow them to cheat themselves. And I feel like at times when we was at practice, we kind of cheated ourselves because we wasn't going as hard as we should have been. Yeah. So I think I feel like most of it comes down to coaching. Yeah. Not saying we had bad coaching, it's just Kirby them is a better coach.
Yeah, well, I would say one thing to me that seems different is I always feel like whenever we played a big game, the talk the entire week was, this is going to be a close game. This is going to be a close game. I feel like the talk now in the locker room is, screw that, we're the better football team. We're going to beat their ass.
Yeah, and that's how
like, and that's
is.
a mentality thing. Like, if you walk into a game thinking, it's going to be close, it's going to be close, well, damn it, it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Well, if you walk into a game with your chest up saying, no, we're going to beat their ass, then you're going to go out there with those talent and beat them up. Like, I think it's a mental thing.
I wonder what them saying it was going to be close was they preparing, like, the play calling and everything.
Yeah.
Made it, like they didn't prepare as well by having us prepared as well. Yeah. So I wonder if that was the case too, because you're right, like now they don't, like Kirby them, you would never hear Kirby them say it's going to be close. They're like, we go play our brand of ball. Yep. We go out there and we don't care who we play, we go play our brand of ball. Yep. And we go give it our all. So yeah, I think and maybe could be the coaching. I don't know. I don't want to call nobody out.
No, I don't either. Listen, I love our coaching staff.
Yeah.
I love this coaching staff. Obviously they have that secret sauce to win natties. Yeah. And we got close a couple of times, and we were close. Man, we were part of some damn good teams.
I still think about that 3 yard, man, on the 3 yard line. with Chris Conley.
Oh, yeah.
I still think about it in the SEC championship when we lost to Bama.
When that happened, what was your first reaction? Was it, what the hell, Aaron? Was it, what the hell, Chris? Was it just...
I kind of knew that it wasn't like, correct me if I'm wrong, was you going to Chris Conley or you was going to Malcolm Mitchell?
I was going to Malcolm.
And the ball got tipped.
So it was slide protection, and slide protection, and then line of scrimmage has to get cut.
Yeah.
Well, things happened so fast. Moses, I believe it was Moses, Dylan Moses, coming off the edge, didn't get cut. So he has a free run, was able to jump and tip it, but I was throwing back shoulder to Malcolm on the outside.
Yeah, seeing things like that, and I love Coach Rick, don't get me wrong. Just being around Kirby, they practice those situational things. Like, I feel like if Kirby was the coach, the receiver would have knew not to catch the ball.
Yeah.
He would have just
knocked it down.
just knocked it down, and we'd have had another chance. But we didn't. I don't remember us practicing situational stuff like that, bro.
Well, there's certain things like in college football that do amaze me, and I know the game is different, especially if you're at Georgia and Alabama, like where you're beating everyone up so much. Like you don't put a lot of emphasis on like 2-minute drive.
Yeah.
But I do feel like in the NFL, you're practicing 2-minute drive
every
all the
day.
time.
You practice 2
all
minutes,
the time.
red zone. You doing all that stuff. End of the game, you always practice situational stuff. And Kirby does the same thing now.
Yeah.
They always not just only the first string doing 2 minute, first, second, and third string. Everybody doing 2-minute drills. Everybody doing red zone.
And we saw a payoff last year versus Ohio State.
Yeah, and I think that's it's just coaching now.
Yeah.
Like it done changed a lot. And I could truly say, matter of fact, when we was playing Clemson, what year we played? When Kirby was here, we played Clemson. I went to a spot in Atlanta and had some drinks with Tavares and all them. And I remember telling them they go end up building a statue of Kirby Smart in Georgia because he's going to win. Thank you, Kirby, for making me right.
Yes.
Because he definitely deserves it.
Two and probably more to come right now. Before we get to transitioning about what today's game is about, and obviously doing a little preview of what we can expect from the Dogs. You're here with obviously OMG Hydration, 2-minute hydration. Talk a little bit about them, the benefits. Anything else you have to say?
The most important thing, we don't carry sugar. We probably the only product on the shelves that don't use sugar. You have problems with cramping, heat, this is the right stuff for you. Speaking for myself, I had experiences where when I was playing ball, I used to have to get IVs. Like before the games, halftime, I always had to get stuck. I got all these tattoos, but I hate needles. So I wish I would have had this when I was playing. I'd have been a full-time All-American, first round and all that stuff because I'd have made it throughout the game. But this stuff subs for IVs. So all these people that don't like to get stuck in the arm, is basically the same, but you just could drink it. Out in this heat, you don't have to worry about cramping. I work out. I take this stuff. I don't feel no soreness.
Tastes good without the sugar too, which is the key. That's the key for me. Coach. Us, when we get a little bit old, that sugar starts to kind of hang in some spots.
Getting them love handles, man.
I know, I'm working on it.
And then you start to worry about your health. I gave some to my dad. He's a diabetic, and he's like, son, I ain't felt this good in like 20 years because he was hydrated. He couldn't drink like Gatorade because it has sugar. It helps with muscle cramps. I think I just mentioned that. So when I work out, I take it. I can go play 36 holes of golf and be ready for more. I go golf with my buddies when I'm in Fort Lauderdale, and they like don't even know what they're gonna do afterwards. They trying to go take a nap, and I'm sitting there like, y'all wanna go shoot basketball now or something. So it has all those benefits that you're looking for. Yeah, it's really good stuff.
Well, make sure you check it out. We'll put a link right below this video right now if you're on YouTube. Click the link. Go check out OMG Hydration, 2-minute hydration, to make sure you are good all summer long, especially for them football players getting ready to get going with the season here soon. All right, let's transition a little bit to today's game. What's the biggest difference in your mind? We'll do two, but we'll start first on the field. Like when you watch a game nowadays, we talk about old school football, kind of when we played. It's been 10 years since we graduated college, but the game has evolved a ton. What are some of the biggest things that jump off the page to you?
So probably these the no huddles, RPOs. I know these they throw the ball a lot more. It's like you don't really see them in I back as much nowadays.
What's a fullback? Most of the kids don't even know what a fullback is.
It's getting to the point now. What is a running back? They don't want to pay these guys in the pros. So yeah, I just think it's more offensive happy. It's like throwing the ball. Yeah. So that's probably the only change I done seen. They just throw the ball more.
Yeah. Yeah, you look at and they use the whole width of the field too.
Yeah.
Like you look at Tennessee. I mean, it's sideline to sideline.
Yeah.
And up tempo and throwing the ball every time.
Yeah. So I know those defensive players be like gassing for air because I don't see how they can do it, man. Because the way Tennessee be running their offense, they are extremely fast.
Oh, well, it's crazy. I mean, it seems like Kirby's the only defensive guy that has figured it out.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years they've given up less than 20 points in each game. So.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, man. Him and that staff. Shout out to Coach Schumann also. I feel like.
Shit, the hell, and Muschamp too.
Yeah.
A hell of a staff.
Yeah, I forgot about Coach Muschamp. Yeah, they got a great staff.
Yeah.
Great staff.
What about off the field a little bit? It's a time when you and I wish we could have played.
It's NIL money.
How much would you think you would have made? Defensive player, one of the top defenses in Georgia, in Athens. And what deal are you trying to get to?
I would have probably tried to do something with my last name, like Rambo or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that would have stood out a lot more,
Yeah.
especially like social media. And
We didn't really have social media when we played
No,
them
we
either.
didn't really have it. It wasn't like, I feel like kids nowadays, some kids do it for the social media.
Yeah.
Back when we was playing, we had social media, but we were just playing for the love of the game. We didn't really care about getting the likes and all these pictures and all these like extra things. I think social media is messing the game up as far as, because some kids, that's what they playing for. They don't just play out there to
Well, they're
compete.
thinking about it, as soon as I get to the locker room after the game, what video am I going to do with my boys to go viral?
Right. Like dancing, TikToks and all that stuff. Like we ain't have that issue. We just worry about winning and going home and hanging out with our
Are these
friends
kids
and
soft?
family.
Are they soft?
I can't say that. There's some guys still out there that plays the game the right way. I just think, I won't say soft, they just playing the game for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they just playing it for the wrong reason. They worry about the likes, they worry about getting attention and all that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one, man. It is completely changed. I think a mixture of both NIL and social media, because it's one the same when it comes to your brand.
Yeah.
How do I build my brand so then I can go get more NIL deals?
It's kind of pros and cons with NIL.
Yeah.
I really think the NIL could help these kids because it could teach them how to manage money. Instead of getting to the next level and then you getting all this money thrown at you, you never in your life saw that much money before.
Dude, I had one of our teammates, I'm not gonna call him out, but I was with him in the league for a year, rookie year, and he came to me, he's like, I had all these checks. He's like, what do I do with these? I'm like, put them in your bank.
Right.
He said, I don't got a bank.
Right, see?
Well, you're sitting with like 6 figures of checks in your locker.
That's
You
crazy.
know what to do with them. So
Don't even know.
I'm all for NIL. I'm more like the social media, like the whole softness thing is what I'm more like.
Yeah.
They're more worried about likes and dislikes, but kids getting paid, I mean, it's
They
been,
deserve it.
because we got screwed by that. AJ got suspended 4 games
Yeah,
for signing a jersey.
yeah.
Todd got suspended 4 games. This was after both of us were gone. But like stuff like that where it's like that affects the entire season when the dude was trying to get money to go send to his mom and dad.
Yeah, it did. I remember when it happened to AJ, because we was roommates during that time. And I felt so bad because he was just trying to end like he was doing something bad.
Yeah.
And then they made him pay the money back and still got suspended.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why are you doing that? It was just, I don't know. It was just weird.
No, I love it. I hope it continues to move in a direction. We're gonna have an episode with Hibbs, who runs the collective, coming out next week, and we'll kind of dive deep into what some of the goals are for these collectives and just student athletes to continue to put them in a position to take advantage of their name, image, likeness, and like you said, prepare them for the next stage of their life, which I think is to me the biggest benefit for these kids being able to make some money now. Georgia football on a high, back-to-back national champs. Seems like they're the heavy favorite heading into this season as well.
Don't blame them.
I can't blame them. I mean, do you when you look at this team right now, especially the DBs, I feel it's hard for me to really pick a hole in this defense.
Yes, it is. And the thing that was different from us back then is these jokers got some depth.
Yeah.
Like they 2-3 deep at each position, and the younger guy might be better than the older guy. It's just the older guy got more experience,
Yep.
so he's less chances to mess up or blow a call.
Yep.
So I like our chances this year.
Yep.
Again, I don't think nobody would be able to find a soft spot and pick on us. We got receivers, we got running backs. Just hopefully the running backs can get healthy and stay healthy. Linemen, offensive line is probably our strongest point. Defensive line is probably our strongest point. Position, sorry. Linebackers, safeties, corners, like it's pick your poison. Like we got it all.
The only thing that, knock on wood, I mean, when you have a great team like this, you've been a part of great teams. Injuries. I mean,
Yeah.
injuries to me is the one thing that can hinder a three-peat.
Yeah.
Any worry of complacency?
No, Kirby isn't going to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think so. But see, the thing with injuries, they happen. It's a vicious sport. I just think right now, what is the difference between our first string and our second string?
Yeah.
Like, what is the gap between them? Like, if it's a small gap, I still think we got a chance. But if it's a huge fall off, it'll get noticed, it'll get shown, and people start picking on you and going after that soft spot.
Which I don't think there is a major gap. When you look at the team this year, Kirby's recruited too many 4 and 5-star guys.
Yeah.
We're saying, all right, we'll just plug in this 5-star guy that's been here for a year, ready to go.
They second string can go play first string for some of these Power 5 schools.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And be
100%.
like all conference. Yeah, they got some players. They got some really good players.
All right. So last thing before we close this thing out, give me your prediction. Do they drop one at all this year? Or you going 15-0 again?
I think we'll go 15-0. I think we might have a scare moment like Ohio State, but I think just coaching and game management and preparation will help us pull it off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll pull it off again and win a natty.
Yeah. And all the fans out there are going to be bitching, moaning that it was just an easy schedule that Georgia went through.
Like Kirby said, come play it.
Yeah,
come play it.
I'm with you, man.
Come play
I
it.
tried to defend it the other day.
Yeah, it's ain't nothing easy about playing in the SEC.
No.
Shoot, when we was playing, we almost lost to Vanderbilt.
We did. Oh, I lost to Vanderbilt.
We
I don't wanna
almost
talk about
lost. So when it was 2012, we was there. I remember we got an interception, 2-minute, fourth quarter, 4 and out by y'all.
Yeah.
3 and out by y'all. We punted. They blocked the punt.
Yeah.
It was in Vanderbilt. They blocked the punt.
No, that was 13. We lost in 13 in
It
Vanderbilt.
was 2012. We was in Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
We fumbled the punt. I think it was we fumbled it. We muffed it.
But they were good then, though. I mean, James Franklin had them rolling. That was when James Franklin was the head coach. So they had some 9-win teams.
We beat them like 42-10 the year before.
We also beat Auburn 2 years in a row by like 40 points, and then lost to them in between on the outsides of it.
When the last time you heard something from Nick Fairley?
Once again, Bacarri Rambo joining. Appreciate it, man. Go check out the link below for OMG 2-minute hydration. It's too hot. You get some electrolytes in your system. Good seeing you, brother.
Good seeing you
golf
too.
soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, if you like that episode with Bacarri Rambo, make sure you go subscribe and go make an account right now at theplayerslounge.io. Got a bunch of great stuff coming out this fall as we get ready for kickoff. Go check us out.